John Drake and John Christ. John,
Right.
welcome to the show.
No, thank you. It's good to be here.
I know a lot of people in our community follow the Lingap Children's Foundation and Orphanage, something you started how many years ago?
2002.
Wow.
So it's been a long time.
And it's something that's in the Philippines.
It's in the Philippines, yep.
Your question I know you got is, why does the community of Jackson support something in the Philippines?
Well, I think the story behind it is that these kids, the kids at the Lingap Center had nothing. They have no hope for any kind of a future at all. And what's even worse is that there's no social network at all. There's nothing. If they get sick, they die. If they don't have food, they die. There's nothing. And so I always look at it as it's not, you know, people have said to me, well, shouldn't we be helping everybody here first? Well, I agree. That's why we have United Way. That's why we've got the churches and so on. But to me, it's not either or, it's and.
When you were working for Consumers Energy, you're traveling the world, and you found yourself in the Philippines, and you saw little children sleeping in the street, literally.
Literally.
Literally. That nagged at you.
It was, yeah, it bothered me a great deal. But really, you know, what can I do about it? You know, there's thousands of these kinds of situations. So what I tried to do is just not make eye contact with the kids. That's the way it is. But what happened was in 2002, the mayor of the town knew I was interested in street kids, orphan kids, and so she asked me to visit the old Lingap Center, saying, you know, we have a facility here in town that's in desperate need of renovation. Would you be willing to renovate it and run it for us?
She was asking a private citizen to build an orphanage.
To renovate the one, but what it was a pig slaughterhouse. And these kids were living in a converted pig slaughterhouse. They weren't allowed to go to school because they couldn't afford uniforms. They weren't allowed into church because they don't want kids begging when people are praying. And there's a fellow by the name of Bob Pierce who said, "Let my heart be broken by the things that break the heart of God." And I have to tell you, that day, my heart was broken. But I didn't want to build an orphanage in the Philippines, for heaven's sakes. I mean, you know, I'm not even good with kids. So why would I do that? But I came home and it bothered me a lot. Mother Teresa said, God speaks in the silence of the heart, and we listen. So what would happen is I'd be thinking about these kids at night, and I would wake up and I'd start crying. And Judy'd say, well, what's the matter with you? And I'd say, well, just having a bad dream. So one morning I woke up, I was crying, and I told her, I think I'm being called. So I'm going to go over there, and I'm going to prove that it can't be done. Because one day God's going to call me. He's going to say, John, I was calling. Why didn't you answer? And so I'm going to prove it can't be done that way. I can say, hey, look, I tried.
And the rest is history.
And the rest is history.
Yeah. And John, you've had a chance to visit the center
Yes,
a
I
couple
have.
of times.
I've been there twice, and most recently at the Honor Society. And that is simply amazing. And you have some film on it, I think, anyway, on the Honor Society. It is just amazing what these children can do. They literally put on a great show, a tremendous show. And they do it, and you know, you stop and think about this. These children were possibly in the street, possibly from homes that couldn't handle them or something. And now here they are entertaining you, dancing, singing, and all of this. And it's all been a result of somebody's heart who was broken.
I guess the best way to explain the Honor Society is to take a look at this video that you brought along. Let's check it out.
Again, welcome to our 12th Lingap Honor Society Night. Tonight is the celebration of the academic achievement of our children, and it's our pride. Me, Tito John, the staff, of course our benefactors, that our children, our Lingap children, tried their very best to be on top of their class.
Good evening, everyone. I have to tell you, this is the greatest event of the year. I absolutely love this place. And what's really amazing, I'm just sitting there thinking, it hasn't been too long ago, too many years ago, that this whole thing was just a crazy idea. And yet here it is, it's come true.
Today, I stand before you not just as a student about to graduate, but as living proof that belief, whether from within or from others, can carry us through the darkest times and the brightest chapters of our lives. To Tito John, to all the sponsors, to the incredible people behind Lingap Center, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for choosing to see potentials where others saw limits. Your belief gave me strength. Let me end with this. You are not what others expect of you. You are what you dare to become. And if there is even one person who believes in you, let that be enough to keep going. For me, it was Lingap. For someone else, it could be you. Thank you.
None of this, not any of it, would have been possible without the support, the guidance, and the love of our staff. They are absolutely incredible. Without them, this whole place wouldn't run. That's all there is to it. There's a saying that it takes a village to grow a child. Together, all of you, the staff, our supporters in the U.S., the teachers, everyone, you're that village that helped to grow these children. Thank you for helping that saying come true. Once again, I'd like to thank all of you for coming tonight. I hope you had a good time. It means an awful lot to us that you're here. So as you go home, please drive carefully. Hope to see you again next year, and thank you all so much.
Wow. Well, John, we saw you there, and I think in one of the last shots, it looked like you were crying.
Probably was.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you've known John Drake
Yep.
for the whole time when he first came up with this idea and talked to the community about it. Could you have ever imagined what you just saw happening?
No, it's so impressive that, like I say, this is the second time I've been there, and both times has been during the May honors, because these students, these children, are fantastic. They do a tremendous amount of work. They work on this all year long, but look at what they do. And think about, some of them were, like I say, in the street. Some of them were coming from homes that didn't have enough money to take care of them. So
this was an honors program like we'd have at a school in the United States.
Yeah, this is a celebration of academic success. The kids, education is not mandatory in the Philippines. And so one of the challenges that I have is getting the kids excited about wanting to learn and do their best. And so I came up with this idea that we will have this big celebration of academic success, and we will give awards to the top achiever in elementary, high school, and college. And then we put their picture up on the wall, and it works. The kids, again, it's a celebration of success, but we have a big fiesta, it's a big party, and it's something they look forward to all year, and they learn so much in the process. Teamwork, planning, practice, everything. It's just it's turned out to be a wonderful event.
This has graduated not only students, but sent many on to college. And I think over the years have had...
So far, since I opened this place, we moved into the new building in 2006. And since we opened, we've had 801 kids who have called this place home. 801. And so far, we're at 44 college graduates, college or vocational graduates.
Amazing. Have they come back? Do you...
Oh, yeah. Well, we call this Honor Society and Homecoming, because this year, gosh, I don't know, we had 20 or 30 former wards who come back. And I got to be very honest with you, it's really emotional for me when they come back to see old Dad.
Well, I look at that celebration, all the clothes and costumes and food and staging and everything. For an organization that had nothing, in 20 years ago, where'd all the money come from?
Well, we have sponsors, we have donors, and the place is a miracle. That's about all I can say. But we do have sponsorships. This didn't cost as much as you might think. For example, that video, it only cost us $250 for that video, and it's really a high quality video. Usually the kids make their own costumes. They do all this stuff themselves. This year they rented some of them, not all of them, but they did rent some of them. But again, prices are not nearly as much as they are here.
COVID was a big hit.
It was a major hit. I wasn't able to go over there for the entire time, and so we had suspended everything during COVID. So this was our second year since we put it back in place.
John, you've been supporting this. You've made a couple of trips. What was it about the Lingap Center that got you involved?
Well, what got me involved is seeing where it came from, knowing where it came from. And of course, personal friendship with John, and knowing what he was doing. I mean, the center itself is teaching these kids all about responsibility, what's right, what's wrong, and obviously we have some problems in the United States these days. These kids are taught right from wrong and what's there. It is amazing what he has taught them. Those teachers over there, they're so forth, and of course John puts them into school to make sure they get an education. It's very important. But why do I go? I enjoy it because of the friendship, 1, 2, and then knowing that I can help in some way. So.
Well, I don't think you're going to have any problem explaining to God about how you answered the call when the time comes.
I got a lot of makeup to do, so we're working on it.
Yeah, well, I know, Bart.
You, on the other hand.
Yeah,
well,
there's a problem right
well,
there.
I'm hoping to get on his coattails, maybe.
Can always use help, and you're always accepting of donations and support.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a website, lingapcenter.org.
Yes.
Thanks for the update. It's amazing. It really is.
Well, thanks for having us on. We really appreciate it a lot.
Thank you.
Keep up the great work. Thanks, John.
Sir, thank you.
Thank you.
John, thank you. John Drake and John Christ working for the kids at the Lingap Center. Well, next we're going to